Johnny, what's up, man? I can't hear you, man. I can't hear you.
My bad. No, I was saying congratulations.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. But you know they still haven't funded it yet.
Yeah, it may take a day or two.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Yeah, they that's not unheard of.
You need it, John? Oh. Yeah, thanks, man.
All right. Give folks a couple minutes. Hold on, I need to go get my. Let me go get one of my earbuds. All right, what's going on, Lindell? How are you this evening? Cool. We're gonna give people 1 or 2 minutes, and we're gonna get rolling.
I had to mute my mic. I'm good. How about yourself, Johnny?
Oh, pretty good.
Pretty good. All right, thank you.
We got a few people coming on Zoom. We'll bring people on. But yeah, so tonight, really, I wanted to start off this series with kind of ask your coach, ask your real estate coach, where people can kind of ask questions. No, really, it's not really scripted. Outside of the questions, I was going to talk a little bit about property management and hit on some topics that we had Lauren Levins on a couple weeks ago, who was talking about investor relations, working with realtors. And I think just kind of talking, expounding on that a little bit, and just talking through that outside of the questions that people have, just to share information, and then give some room for networking, for people to chat. Definitely here for like any specific real estate scenarios, questions, current deals people are working on, or where they may be stuck in their real estate investing journey on building up their portfolio. That just kind of open it up for questions that I can answer. And then also people within the group, within the community, can provide answers. You probably have other people who are going through the exact same things that can help you kind of navigate that space, whatever it is that's kind of centered around real estate. Just whereas that people realize that you're not going through this stuff all alone. You're not the only one that's going through trying to figure out how to get a deal across the finish line. You're not the only one who's dealing with bad contractors. You're not the only one dealing with delays or financing struggles with your hard money company. All that stuff, that's normal. That's what everybody goes through. But the biggest thing is just you don't want to go through it by yourself and try to figure it out. And yeah, and make mistakes. That's gonna cost you more money in the long run. That's the biggest thing. So I said we got one question online. Yep. So and so all this is coming from just my experience. For those who don't know me, haven't heard me speak, I've been investing in real estate since 2006. I started my home renovation company back 2015, flipping houses ever since then with my wife and I. We really took off with our business in 2018 after Hurricane Michael, kind of going into the spring of 2019. We've been doing 10 to 12 houses a year. I started by a multifamily in 2020 and wrote a book back in 2021. And over all of 2022, was helping people start with their real estate investing business, whether it be fix and flips, looking to do rental property. My focus is really helping people build up a portfolio, whether it's single family or multifamily, and just continue to help people build up passive income through real estate investing. So coaching, then it says, in order to buy, rental, and sell, do I need a real estate license? No, you do not need a real estate license. Great question. April Credit Hacks, whether or not you need a license. You do not need a license to buy real estate or to sell real estate. I was talking with a property management company who she has a real estate license today. And she asked me, she's like, hey, are you going to sell this one by yourself or do you want us to help? And I live in Northern Virginia, but my portfolio is between Panama City, Florida, and kind of across the state of Alabama. And I've been kind of talking broker relationships and working with investors that in the past, I would have said, nope, I'll sell it myself because I can save, I think we're going to list the place for like $220. And we're going to save probably, 5% on that. So we'll say half of it. We'll save about $5,000. And so it was like, okay, I can save that $5,000, do it myself. I can pay a company $100 that'll list it, Baycom.com, BEYCOME.com. If you want to list your own property and don't want a realtor to put it on the MLS for you, you can do that. You answer the phone calls, you work with the buyer's agent, and they'll help you, get the deal done. But for me now, I used to save that money to, not have an agent represent me. But I know the value of now having them represent me. I'm totally out the loop. They take care of everything with it. I don't have to worry about my time being involved in it. And I can build a relationship with them, even though they manage properties for me. This will be a transaction that I can help. They can list for me. And then now more deals come through that I can solidify, continue to build that relationship with this broker that now when people get ready to sell their rental properties, they can bring to me, they can bring me a deal off market or anything. So just with building that relationship. So I don't see it as me losing $5,000. I see it as me putting $5,000 into their business, with them managing the property. They've been managing my rentals there for over 3 years now. So they've been good. So I'm fine with them doing that in that relationship that, hey, if they bring me one deal, it's going 10X, that 5K that I spend right now with paying them for selling that property for me. So that's one of the hacks for me. So, but you don't need a license to buy real estate, to be an investor. I've been investing for, well over a decade now and never had a real estate license. I won't never have one. But you don't need one. You don't need one to buy houses or to sell them. Now, how long does it take to build business credit? Anywhere to do it the right way, it takes probably 6 months to a year, honestly, to build business credit. One of the things is your credit, especially in this type of market where we are right now, with credit kind of constricting with where we are with a recession. The Federal Reserve raised rates today by a quarter point. They're saying this, they're holding true to beating inflation. And so with that, they're gonna have to cause a lot of pain. That means jobs laying off. With real estate, they want prices to go back down. One of the ways to do that is by raising interest rates. But we know as banks charge more and more money to do loans, to lend credit out, that banks can't, businesses can't pay what they've been paying for when credit was essentially you could go get money for free. Basically, you're paying 2%, 3% on money. Now you're paying 6%, 7% on money that you can't move the same way. And so now banks are looking at list. They're getting more conservative on their underwriting. They're, wanting buyers that have more cash towards the down payment. They're not doing loans like they used to do at the same volume, the same pace. So a lot is changing. So now, people talk about, interest rates, but if you remember back like in 2010, 2011 timeframe, that there were deals out there, but the banks weren't giving credit. You couldn't get a loan because the banks weren't lending money on real estate just because it was so toxic and there was so much inventory in the market, and prices were falling that nobody would lend money on real estate at the time. So you definitely want to have the best credit profile you can when you're going in to set up your LLCs. A lot of times these companies like Home Depot, Lowe's, for instance, you can get a credit card line of credit with them, but they're going to check your personal credit just to see how you're paying your bills on the personal side, and they won't ask for a personal guarantee, and it's not going to show up on your personal credit, but they're going to look at how you've been doing everything on the personal side before they say, hey, yeah, we'll give you this $5,000 credit line with our store. So that's one of the things to get started. It helps, but there's some companies out there with different offerings where they don't really care about your personal credit, and so you can deal with those companies as well too. But a lot of the box stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, getting a gas card that's in your company name, things like that. You want to have the best credit possible, and a lot of the ways you want to work with a business credit consultant. Savon Williams is a great guy. If you go and kind of look at the past recordings, he spoke at my boot camp that I had in Birmingham, in-person live boot camp we had back in January this year, Savon Williams. But he talked a lot about business credit, what banks lend to LLCs, and that whole process. So that's one of the things that you want to definitely look at doing when it comes to business credit. We're doing that because it's definitely a big component of it. We're building where you can diversify from your personal, and you're not getting bogged down with leveraging your personal credit and throwing off your debt to income ratios and things like that can hinder you from being able to like refinance a property in the future just because you got a large credit line maxed out because you're in the middle of a project. But no, great questions, April. Great questions. What else? Any other questions? Anybody? Oh, go ahead, Joseph. I see your hand up.
Hey, Johnny, I had a question. The only question I had is when you work with hard money lenders, are they kind of how do I say it? I know there's an advantage because you're using other people's money.
Right.
So there may be more hoops to jump through, and things may not be as I don't know, it just seems like sometimes that like you're begging them to use their money. Does it kind of feel that way? Does it kind of seem that way? Or
no, I know exactly what you're talking about. It used to, I would say that first deal for sure. When I look back at the hard money lender who was more so a private lender when I did my first deal back in 2015, that it felt that way, especially when you start raising money on the private side. But you have to soon realize that you're bringing them an opportunity, because if they're not lending their money out, they're not getting a return on it. And so that's the thing that we have to realize, that to the tune of, I've seen private equity funds that said they had to give back, $500,000-$600,000 back to their investors because they didn't have enough deal flow coming through. They didn't have enough loans that they could put out on the street. And so they actually had to give money back to their investors. So you're definitely doing them a favor without a shadow of a doubt. Because there's a lot of different places you can take your business, just like the grocery store, the car dealership. There's a lot of places you can go and spend your money. And hard money lenders, that is the same way. That it's all about relationships that you establish with them, and it's got to be mutually beneficial. Because in this age, you can shop around. There's a lot of competition out there, and if they won't take care of your property, then you can find another company. And I always say you want to at least have 2 or 3, especially in this environment right now as things change. Because I saw when the pandemic kicked off, where there was people under contract, had loan proposals, and COVID started picking up, and lenders got scared, and people who only had one lender, they were kind of up the creek without a paddle. And then, you know, at the same time that some banks like credit unions didn't miss a beat. And, you know, and we had our 18 unit under contract in Panama City, kind of spring of 20 when COVID kicked off. And that was the thing. I was talking to my banker, just kind of staying in the loop with them. We had to replace the water lines, the seller did, so we got delayed with closing because I was adamant that had to happen before we closed. And so that was stressful because going through, and he was like, hey, we're gonna be here, we're lending, you know, nothing's changing with how we're doing business. We got you. When the work's done and over with, the appraisal's back, we're good to close. And so I think just having those relationships goes a long way with just being able to grow your business, to have that stability and that dependability on when it's, you know, deals come up and you can close. You know, you got somebody that can execute right there alongside you and kind of keep that same pace or cadence that you got with your business. So definitely your lender is a partner in your business, whether it's a private lender or individual, or if it's a hedge fund, or if it's a, you know, traditional bank. Cool. But no, that's a great question. Anybody else got any other questions? Because the lender piece, that's a big one, especially right now with the market cycle we're in. That you definitely want to have multiple options out there, because the last thing you want to do is kind of have the deal get stalled and the buyer, you know, financing walks away from you the last minute. You can't get a lucrative deal closed because of it.
And I had one more. On your first project, how was it managing that construction on the first project?
No, that's a great question, man. Because a lot of people, most people really don't have construction experience. You know, they don't do it as their day job. And so it can be somewhat daunting. For me, it was a challenge because I never done it before, one. And two, I never had kind of went through the process. And so that was the thing for me. It was just really kind of filling it out. The ways that I managed that risk and kind of was able to get past it was making sure I hired a professional. I went through, I don't think it was Angie's List. It was one of those other kind of online websites where you can find vetted contractors up front, because I didn't really have a strong network of real estate investors. I didn't have anything like REI Genius. I didn't have a community. I didn't have a real estate investing coach. People that I could lean on and ask in my network in the local area outside Washington, D.C. And so I went on there, you know, found contractors, you know, got estimates for the work. And then I just aligned with one who worked well. She was a former architect, and she had her general contractor's license, and it was a blessing because she actually walked me through the process. Like, we're going to the store, you know, how to pick cabinets, you know, the flooring, just all that piece that I didn't know, and the pieces that you need to know as you're going through to put a house back together again. I was able to pick her brain and learn from it, and I was working a day job at the same time. And so this is literally just, you know, me getting off work early, you know, go in early so I can get off early and still catch the guys at work, go, you know, whatever we need to do on the weekend, go to the cabinet store, you know, Home Depot, different things, picking items out that we need to take to the house for the contractors, and just kind of that whole process. So it was definitely, it was stressful, but I tell you, leverage your network as much as possible. You know, do as much due diligence up front. You know, try to get the schedule set up front. You know, get the agreements with your contractors up front on how you're gonna pay them, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you get your W-9 form, which is their tax form, because at the end of the year, you gotta let the IRS know how much money you paid that contractor, that if they did over $500 worth of work. So that's a big one. Make sure you get a copy of their W-9 form, which is essentially their business's social security number. If they don't have LLC, then they should use their social security number on that W-9 form. But you definitely
get a copy of the contractor's W-9.
Yeah, you want to get that. You want to get that at the beginning of the job, because they might not give it to you after the work's done.
Okay.
Because they probably don't want to pay taxes. So you want to get that up front. Make sure you get that up front. And as you're just going through the process, lean on your network. Yeah, because there's gonna be stuff that comes up that you never seen because you're just going through the process. But the thing that you want to do is just know that you got everything you need to be successful, and kind of keep that strong faith that you're gonna be able to see through the project, and just know things are gonna happen that you didn't plan for. That's normal. You set aside management reserve because costs are gonna go up potentially, and you just kind of manage the process and know going in that you kind of look at those areas with risk, and the more due diligence you do up front, then the better opportunity that you have to be successful long term with the project. So you'll be good. No, great question. What's going on, John and Caleb on Facebook? You guys for checking in. Yeah, so we're just going through answering questions. People who got current projects that's going on, whatever they want to ask. We're talking through with my REI Jeans community on the Zoom link. You guys can get that to come in, tap in. And what's up, UD?
Hey Johnny, how you doing, man?
Doing good, brother.
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, good to see you as well, man.
Hey, speaking of questions, I was talking to Faye, and I just had a quick chat. Just did a little accountability call, and
Okay.
I'm actually looking at a potential flip, and she was just telling me, hey, we're having a QA session this tomorrow. I think I spoke with her Monday.
Okay. Yep.
She's telling me this week it's this QA, so bring up your deal, and talk to people around there, see what they say. We also did our own small analysis, and
Okay.
I'm kind of hesitant to pull the trigger. So I was just trying to see if you could provide me some feedback or some pointers on what needs to be done in this particular property. So if you're cool with it, I can screen share and show you this is what I'm looking at and all that stuff.
Yeah. Let's go for it, man. While you're doing that and pulling it up, what makes you hesitant about the deal?
Just because it's the first time I'm doing something like this.
Okay.
And the way when I started talking with Faye, I think I kind of skipped the main question to the seller as to, because I'm just going off of what the realtor who brought me the deal is telling me.
Okay.
And it just sounds like I need to verify some other things before I pull the trigger. Because this property, while I pull it up.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay, this is the property that I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's a it's a 4-bed, 2.5, around 1837. And one, let's say, kind of red flag that Faye brought it was, why is the owner trying to, or whoever bought it recently, trying to get rid of it? Like, what's their motivation to sell? And the realtor that brought me the deal, she's like, she bought it cash. He was kind of going back and forth on different things and didn't give me a clear answer. That's another reason why I'm kind of hesitant, because he was saying she bought it on a 265K cash, and then he says it's 265 ARV. I went and did a tour of the house. It just needs a really thorough cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
This particular area, it's supposed to have a sliding door. There's no sliding door right now.
Okay.
And a few other things here and there. Well, one of the electrical socket is out of, looks like somebody kicked it in. And then some of the shelf here, the drawers needs to be reattached. It's kind of pulled out. And upstairs, around around this, not this area. Yeah. Well, upstairs around this area, there's a water heater. Oh, okay. So actually, this corner right here, there's a heating area, and right underneath that, uh, I could see the paint peeling off, and looks like water damage. And another thing the realtor told me was it's missing an AC, and the realtor who sold this house to the current owner didn't tell the owner about this.
Oh,
And
wow.
I kind of find it, unless they're really naive, because whenever you buy a house, you do some kind of inspection, right? So
Right.
unless she was really naive, it doesn't make sense that a person didn't even check, especially when the house was bought around June, when it's like peak summer in Texas, like in San Antonio. So it needs, according to the realtor that brought me the deal, it needs a AC replacement, and on the outside, one of the windows, I don't know how they got it, but not the window, but the net frame that actually goes outside,
Right.
it's actually bent.
What's the so what is the realtor saying that after repair value is going to be for this property?
According to him, the ARV, let me refer to according to him, if you put it in good condition and clean condition, it's worth 265. And last year, 623, so around 9 months prior, it was 245.
And you said your strategy for this was going to be a fix and flip?
Yeah, just sell it. Could be buyer funding fell through right time.
Yeah, this definitely for 245 ARV. Yeah, this is going to be a stretch. That the only way, if you had cash and you were paying cash, potentially maybe, but if you got to go in and put 5,000 and you're buying this at, the only way to do, at a 240 ARV, you would want to be around, say 70, I would say 73% of 240, which would put you at, where's my calculator? But
I mean, yeah.
So that's gonna put you around 160. Doing public math in my head real quick.
Yeah.
You start looking at 240 times 0.73. Yeah, 175. You want to be all in 175. So if you got to put 15,000 to do those repairs that we just talked about, you're gonna subtract out 15,000.
Yeah.
And so your max offer, I was doing rounded, so 175. So yeah, so you want to be around 160 is what the max that you will want to pay for that property is 160,000. If you have 15K in it, so you can have enough profit spread to one. Because when you list a property on the back end, you have to pay your realtor 2%, 2 to 3% to represent you. You're gonna have to pay the buyer's agent at least 2%. You're gonna have to pay your holding costs, in between the time from when you close and sell. You have to pay your utilities. You're gonna also have to pay insurance during that period of time. And and so all those costs that you're gonna have to pay, of course, and then just if your lender is gonna charge you points on the loan, and so it wouldn't be enough spread at 215 at the list price for you to to do a true fix and flip on that, just because the ARV is too low.
I was thinking about different strategy on this particular one.
Okay.
And I actually, when I toured the property, I just realized that it's not going to be feasible, just because the area is not rent worthy, and even with the price, it's not even coming to a 1% rule for the rent.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, those are a couple of the red flags, that I kind of figured out. And, when talking to Faye, it kind of became clear. So I just wanted to run it by you, just because, this is the question and answer session going on. And just wanted to say what's up to everybody over here, joining REI Genius, different people around. Hey, what's up, man? Joseph is his name?
Yep. Yeah, that's Joseph.
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, Joe? Do people call you Joe? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he goes by Joseph. But yeah, exactly.
Oh, I didn't hear you, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was just asking what your go-by name was.
Oh, Joseph is fine, man. Joseph or Joe.
Yeah, so I just wanted to run it by real quick. But yeah, now that I talked to you, I was kind of thinking about the holding cost, but then again, I'm not buying it cash. Of course, there's going to be hard money lender and private money lender. So from start, even if I do interest only payment from the time that I close and to the time that whenever I sell it close, there's going to be a lot of holding costs. So yeah, I was thinking if I could get it around 200, that would make me decent profit. But now that I'm talking to you, it's kind of a little clearer, because the point adds up, the holding cost adds up, and the let's say that's the realtor talking. I want to have it
right
properly inspected before I do put my money in. So $300, $500, whatever it takes to inspect it, because I don't want to find any foundational issue or anything like it. Kind of like what I did with the house that I bought. Just went through. I was here when the inspector was here. I asked him what needs to be done. Is the roof okay? Like the capex, stuff like roof, plumbing, electrical, foundation. If those things are okay, then I'm thinking about buying it. And this one came out okay. But looking at the other house, if the AC is already gone, and it's just going to be other added expenses here and there. So yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem at all, man. One of the things that I'm telling my coaching clients right now is we're only doing great deals. If it's not a great deal, if you're not able to underwrite it conservatively and still see the profit, then don't do it. Just because the market is shifting, and the last thing that you want to do is kind of get left holding the bag when it comes to your exit strategy. So that's one of the things that we're walking through with making sure you're conservative with your underwriting, your understanding, all of your costs that are going to be associated with the deal on the front end, as you're holding it, then on the back end, and just going through and understanding that, the renovation process that you're looking at, that you feel real comfortable with the renovations, and you just manage your risk, and you're not taking risky bets, because the last thing that you want to do right now in the real estate market that we're in right now is take unnecessary risk and end up with a bad deal. That's the last thing that you want to do right now, because I think this is the time now to kind of be patient. But I forgot who I was listening to, but you want to be aggressively patient. That you don't want to be timid and patient, like, hey, I'm waiting it out, I'm not buying nothing for 2026. No, we want to be patient, but we're still actively looking at deals. We're managing our area of responsibility. What that means, we're looking at the zip codes that we care about. We're looking for those 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom properties under 1,800 square feet that were built between the 50s and 70s in our market, in our area that we're looking for. And we're looking at the MLS. We're talking to agents. We're doing some offline marketing, direct to seller potentially. And we're doing those actions each and every day, week, month. Whereas that when we see great deals, we're able to pull the trigger in a quick fashion to get those deals done that kind of fit our criteria. Whereas that we're not being passively patient, but we're actively patient. We're still doing the work. We're looking at those things that are indicators of a great deal in our market. And the more and more that we do that, the faster and the more speed that we can act with to kind of get deals, because this is going to be a great opportunity to build wealth. There's a lot of investors that are on the sidelines, but investors that know how to operate in this environment, that's underwriting conservatively, that you're gonna do really well and be able to flourish even in a high interest rate environment. Just because you're able to negotiate deals, you're able to work with motivated sellers, and you're able to create win-win scenarios for real estate agents. They feel comfortable bringing you deals. They know what you're buying, what you're looking for, and you're building relationships with your lenders, whether it's hard money lenders or private investors. I'm teaching my clients now is like, hey, everyone needs to be working their network to have private investors ready, because people want to diversify from the stock market. They need, whether they know it or not, you need to be educating people on why they need to diversify from the stock market, and looking to leverage real estate, and whether it's private investing or picking up more rental properties, and just doing that. Whereas now you got more income coming in, people coming in that looking to you to get a return, a higher return on their money, by you just being able to be that expert in your market. So for sure, man. Yeah. So that's fine. You're one deal closer. Awesome. Awesome. What's going on, Joel?
Hey John, how you doing?
Good, good, man. I hadn't seen your face, man. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. Good to be seen. Hey guys,
What's up, Joe? How you doing, man?
driving home most of the meeting. I finally got here and decided to log in and show my face and say hello.
That's
And
awesome, man.
appreciate all the input. I'm just soaking it all up.
I like that shirt too, man.
Say it again.
I like that shirt too.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's something I picked up.
Rules of art.
But yeah, no, all great questions. Because I think that's where we are. We're just kind of understanding the market. But I think the more that we understand the area that we're operating in, the more confident that we're going to be, and being able to lean back on that knowledge and that information, when it's time to, make decisions, and just kind of move out when we get those different type of opportunities. So
I have a suggestion, John.
sure.
Since we are all we all have the same goal, motivation to build wealth, and times like this right now, with the interest rate going up and all of that stuff, just like when you were talking about the contractors and how you found them,
Mhm.
you, or the people in general, or the entire REI Genius people, can we build a list of private money lenders that, let's say, Johnny, you have worked with personally, that you recommend? Let's say I'm pretty sure there's corridor funding, it all pops up whenever you look up private investors. But let's say state-wise, across borders, if we can build a comprehensive list, there's I can do Google private money lender San Antonio. That's where I'm based.
Okay.
It's still hard for me to go to talk to them because I don't know them. But let's say, Johnny, you have ABC company that you've already worked with, and they also operate in another state. That's just beneficial for everybody in the community, that we can kind of pick our, hey, I've already worked with this person. I've already worked with this company. Here's a list. Let's go explore options. So we can, on that list, we can comment, this person or this entity charged me 1% compared to somebody else charging me 2%. So, we can have we can kind of make it a smaller list as to, these are the most favorable people that we want to work with. So it just helps the entire community.
No, 100%, 100%. And I'm working to bring in more lenders. I know we got one that just joined. I think his name is Scott. No, Pete. I'm sorry, Peter. That just joined, that I'm gonna bring on to kind of give an overview of his products. We have Hornet Capital. I know Joe. Shout out to Joseph. Joseph just closed with them today, actually, with Hornet Capital, who is a lender who kind of focuses on, their niche is providing funding for veteran real estate investors. And so there's one more, the Campos Lending. I'm actually going to a mixer with them next Tuesday, and going to meet with the owner. And I met with him at Flip Hacking Live last fall down in Orlando, and they're based out of the Annapolis area. So I'm gonna be talking with them, and trying to get him on here as well too. And and just kind of having that conversation with him to kind of understand, hey, these are my clients, the community, the needs, what we're looking for, what kind of products do you guys have to offer, and just letting them know where we can build those relationships 100%. Whereas that now you're not coming in with a cold conversation from somebody that, hey, you have a warm introduction, from myself or somebody else within the community that's used it before. So no, 100%. I think that's something that we'll set up with, we're setting up just kind of a lending area or lending area, whereas that we can kind of have a platform of people that's been vetted. The biggest thing is vetting lenders, because some advertise certain products, and then when you start talking to them, you're going through the underwriting process. It's a lot different. So I love to lean on experience to of people that had experience with different businesses, no different than just watching, looking at reviews before you go to a restaurant. Mm-hmm. And because lenders change, I'll tell you, I had a great relationship with one lender, and when they found out that I was still active duty military and living out of state, that they like, oh yeah, we should have stopped lending you last year. And I'm like, okay, why is that? They're like, well, yeah, we can't lend the military, and then we want you to be within 100 miles of the actual project. And up until that point, it was a great relationship. But if I hadn't diversified and had another relationship with Hornet Capital, who I was using as well too, I would have been left holding the bag with like future projects. I've been starting over from scratch. And so that's the thing. And you want to definitely have multiple lending options. And I think one of the things I'm definitely looking at doing is bringing more lenders to come to the platform and just sharing where we can have those options for that reason that you just brought up. So yeah, no, 100%.
Hey Joseph, since you closed the deal today, how was your experience with them? Could you give us a quick, let's say,
well, the experience, it wasn't that bad. The communication is not so. I use Hornet Capital. I use Hornet Capital. They're a hard money lender, and its advantages, of course, of using a hard money lender. Like one of the advantages was when I made my offer, my agent was able to tell the listing agent, hey, like I can get this closed in like 2 weeks. And I think that's kind of what sold the seller's agent on going with me, because they had multiple offers on this property. And I guess like I said, I was using hard money, and when my agent let the seller's agent know, like we can get this closed like fairly quickly, it was like a done deal. So it has its advantages and disadvantages. I think as a new investor, this is my first time doing business with them. I think they're kind of skeptical. Well, not necessarily skeptical, but I think you're probably under a little bit more scrutiny. And correct me if I'm wrong, Johnny. You may be under a little bit more scrutiny, and they kind of may do a little bit more due diligence when looking at your deal. But for the most part, it was fairly easy. I have a good relationship with their lending president over there, his Eddie Hart. I've spoken with him numerous times, and for the most part, it was a fairly smooth process. And again, I mean, the whole goal, I think, especially the whole goal is to get to a point where you can use other people's money to make money. And if I'm successful at this, then I think that I accomplished that goal, because I really didn't bring that much money to the table.
Man, no if. When you're successful with this.
Oh, of course. When I'm successful in this, exactly. You're right, Johnny. You're exactly right. When I get this deal done, I'm on the construction part now, and again, like I said, I'm learning, and luckily I had Johnny I can reach out to, and he lets me know, hey, go about it this way, get this done. So when I get this deal done, I mean, get this construction done, I know the next time it'll be a lot easier.
Great, man. Glad to hear. Good luck to you.
Thank you, man. The process was, like I said, fairly easy. They do a credit check. They look at your stuff. not so much into your income and looking at all of that kind of stuff. They just want to. I mean, if you have a good deal, they'll fund it. So.
Was that single family or a multifamily?
Single family. Single family. Yep, single family. But the comps are great, Joel. The comps are great. The area is good. I think I may have bought the ugliest house on the street. I may have bought the ugliest house on the street. So the neighbor's house on both sides have been rehabbed. So this one is just like it's just waiting for it. And so I'm gonna try and get in there, get it taken care of, get it rented.
Nice.
Are these hard money lenders?
Yeah, this was hard money. Yep. This was hard money. Mm-hmm.
What kind of rate they give you?
13% interest.
Ooh, and how many points?
I want to say maybe 2 or 3 points.
Wow. They fund your rehab too?
They do. Yeah. Funded the rehab and the acquisition.
Wow, 15% interest rate with. Sorry.
Are you on Bird?
Yeah. Well, yep. Bird. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Bird. Yep.
What's the construction timeline looking like, Joseph?
So I got some contractors. The first contractor I had, his timeline was about 7 to 8 weeks. 7 to 8 weeks. It's not a whole bunch of stuff. It's kind of cosmetic for the most part, resurfacing a lot of stuff. It's a few. They may have to knock down one thing on the house, replace some side, and replace some roof stuff, but it's mostly cosmetic for the most part.
Good deal.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things when you start looking at. I think somebody said the interest rate points and then the rate at 13%. If you're looking to do a Bird deal where you do you buy, you renovate, you rent it out, and then you refinance it and repeat it, that when you look at the loan to value, that most lenders are wanting 10% down, and in this case, Joseph, you how much you just had to pay closing costs, right? You didn't have to put any money down, right?
No, I had to put some money down.
Okay. What percentage?
Yeah, I had to put some money down. Huh?
Okay. Was it less than 10%?
I had to put about 15K down.
15K down,
yeah.
Which was that right? That was 10%.
Mm-hmm. But I've had a private money investor as well
on that side. So that's the thing that you can look at with the rates. That how long is your project going to? You plan on your project taking?
Man, at the max 3 months, possibly. But I haven't for. I mean, it can take up to 6 months. I have 6 months.
Gotcha. But if you get in and get that done in 3 months, and your lender that you're already working with on the back end or refinance, they don't have a seasoning period. So if you get this project done in 60 days, you can start refinance. You can start the refinance process at day 45.
Exactly.
By day 90, you've turned this property over. You've added it as a rental property to your rental portfolio that's cash flowing, and you got 25% equity. And you only had to, you put 10% down and got your money back, and you're moving on to the next project. So that's the thing is the biggest thing is, the rates. If you could maybe get somebody that was at 10% or 9%, but if you had to get an appraisal to get done before closing, maybe they want to take 21 days or 30 days to close, so that's the trade-off that you look at with, with initially with your first loan, hard money loan, and, where you're going the future, whereas that you may pay a little bit more on the front end, or the first deal, build a relationship where you can reduce your risk after you got a track record, and, working your exit strategy, understand that, hey, if you're only using this money for 3 months versus 6 months, 9 months, a year, that in the grand scheme of things, it's a way to get you to your end to kind of get that rental property done, and not having to get an infinite return where you get all your money out of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it is. Whereas that, and you continue to shop around and let other lenders say, "Hey, I can do better. Give me opportunity to earn your business." And so that's the goal. So super dope, man.
To reduce the APRs, like after you do a deal, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You can ask. Yeah, it's done that. All they can say is yes or no, and you can say, "Hey, so and so said they can do this."
mhm.
And let them know, because that's the thing. Competition is going to reduce what the prices that you pay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's all about.
factor the interest rate in your analysis, and the numbers work. The numbers work.
Mhm. Yeah.
I looked at a deal like that with a birth just last night. When I got to the refinancing part, there was not really enough cash flow. The rent was not that strong, and the cash flow was less than $100 a month. And there were some other benefits like the tax depreciation and the appreciation, but that cash flow less than $100 a month just sort of turned me away from it.
Yeah, especially in this market. And that's the thing. Like, Joel, I was seeing some foreclosures in Montgomery for like, I saw one for like 30,000. I think that was like a brick house, like 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, that might be why I just rolled by tonight. It's 31,000, and it's a brick house, and it's
with a
a nice,
carport.
yeah, a nice neighborhood. So
Yeah,
I'm
right there off King.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I think it was right there. It was right there. I got next on. Yeah, I think it was right. Hold on, everybody. Yep. So I think it was right there, a little south of Martin Luther King Highway.
Yeah, on Bridalwood, and
Okay.
I got a Markham Navas on it. It was like almost 130,000 ARV on it. So I think I'm gonna look at that one, try to put an offer on it.
No, don't go ahead and put it in, man. I would go ahead and text that realtor first thing in the morning. I was looking at that one. Yeah, I think it'll be a solid one, because we got the construction crews down there working on the apartment building, and I'm like, I might as well get a house or two in between to work on while they're waiting for units to work on.
Yeah.
Down there in Montgomery.
Red was telling me about y'all crew, so you got a good crew.
Yeah. It's a good
Could
group.
you not do? Sorry, Johnny, I have a question for that, Burr. Could you not do midterm rental and increase the cash flow?
No, 100%. You definitely can do midterm rental. We had a young lady that came on. I gotta bring her back too. That's based out of Austin, Texas. That's doing midterm rentals, and and that strategy. For me, I do all my real estate investing virtual. In my market. So like me, you have to be a lot more hands-on. Have the systems in place to kind of turn over properties, the cleaning, and everything that goes in with the Airbnb short term, and then with the midterms as well too. That I don't have the staff, and my business model is different right now. So
Okay.
yeah, you could definitely get increased cash flow. But the thing is, it's a hospitality business.
Mm-hmm.
Be good with people and giving people a great experience with your property is the big key to being successful as a midterm rental person. So it's just a little bit more hands-on than I like to be.
I think I'll be a good Airbnb host.
Yeah, the thing is, if you have the time and you're a systems person, and it can be really lucrative, especially if you're in the right area that has a nice attraction, whether it be jobs that with people coming in temporarily for work, nurses, if you're in a big medical area, or a large corporation.
Yeah, actually, my house is pretty close to medical school here.
Hey, there you go.
Maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, so just see what's unique about your area and just understanding how you can leverage that to and how you can support whatever industry, whether it's tourism or or if it's on the corporate side.
Yeah, thank you. Well, Black Rifle Coffee is right pretty close by. One
Oh,
of
okay.
the attraction,
Their
yeah.
headquarters there in San Antonio.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think Lindell had a question as well too.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry.
Okay, so using the BRRRR strategy, using BRRRR method, does the tenant have to be in there a certain amount of time before you can refinance?
No.
Usually not. I'm gonna mute you while I talk, just like we're getting some back feedback. But yeah, usually not. They understand as long as you have a lease in place, that's the only thing that they really care about. That you have a long-term tenant that's in there, and as long as they sign it, I've started the refinance process while I still had it on the market to be rented. And so that's the big requirement, that they don't necessarily have to be in there a certain amount of time already. As long as you have a signed lease, they pay the deposit, then you should be good to go.
What?
One more question. So if you were trying to get like hard money or a private lender to invest in to take on a BRRRR strategy project with you, it would have to be a nice amount of spread. I'm asking, wouldn't it have to be as far as on the ARV after repair value, it would have to be a nice spread on them for them to really take that deal into consideration?
So you said it was a private.
Yeah, far as for the private lender or a hard money lender to invest in that, far as because on the BRRRR strategy, if you don't have the money, they would have to buy the property to take on the project. And then at the end, for the refinance on the ARV, it would have to be a nice amount of spread on there for them to have interest in it.
Oh yeah, 100%. So with the ARV, that when you finish the project, and really, I do the same thing for a BRRRR. I'll tell you, so like I'll flip, and I want to be around 70 to 75% of the after repair value usually. If it's a low risk project and we're somewhere 76, 77, I'll do it usually. If it's a smaller house and I can get in and get out, and I can save time, and it's not going to be a long project. On the BRRRR side, really, since you're looking to hold, that you can go to like 80%. If it's a really good area, great school system, you're gonna hold it long term, it's gonna cash flow. That if you go in and fix the property up and you got 80% in the deal, you're still gonna have 20% of equity on the back end, which is fine. So you wouldn't get all your money back when you go to refinance. Maybe you leave some of it, you leave $5K in the deal. But the cash flow, if you're cash flowing $600 a month, you're gonna make your money back in 10 months. So you kind of weigh that out with the BRRRR strategy, whereas that now is, instead of having 25% equity left in the deal, you only got 20% left in the deal. But it's a great deal that's cash flowing, and you're gonna keep this house for 10 years in your portfolio at least. And it's in a great area, great school system. So things like that you can weigh. But usually you're definitely gonna have it's gonna be a solid deal for a BRRRR to happen. So you want to buy, say if we're buying a $200,000 house, then at 75% loan to value, then the most that you can pay and renovate that house for is $150K. So at the end of the day, you're gonna have $50,000 of equity at the end of construction. So going in, if you got to put $25,000 of renovation into that project, the most that you can pay to buy it is $125,000. So you're buying it for $125,000. The after repair value is $200,000, and you're gonna do $25,000 worth of work, and you'll be able to refinance that, pay off that hard money loan that gave you the $150,000 to buy it and renovate it. You pay them off, and now you got a $150,000 loan that's long-term debt, and your rent is paying the mortgage payment, and then hopefully you're cash flowing at least $300-400 a month after you paying your mortgage, taxes, and insurance, and maybe putting 10% back for expenses. Yep. Did that help, Lindell?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. No problem.
No problem.
Good stuff. We're right at 9 o'clock. I know we kind of had a few people on here. Anybody have any needs, anything right now specifically they're looking and they're needing their business? I think one of the things we're gonna definitely put out there is some of the lending stuff in the community out there that you guys will see that's just different lender options out there. And we'll continue to kind of monitor it and add new people. Campos Lending, I'm gonna have him coming on. I'm gonna meet with him in person. We've been talking, but I'll meet them at a mixer they're having in the Alexandria, Virginia area. What else is going on? April 21st, 22nd, I'll be in Dallas, Texas for a live event. It's actually an online option as well too. It's the second annual Veterans in Real Estate Summit happening in Dallas at the Museum of Flight, that Dallas Love Field. So for those that's in the Dallas area or wherever, if you're looking to come in, 2 days of real estate, we're gonna have a lot of veteran real estate investors on the multifamily, single family side. So we talking real estate, and I think we're gonna be doing workshops as well too during that time. So that'll be a great event coming up next month. And I think tickets go up. Price of tickets goes up April 23rd. So tomorrow, I think is the last day for like early bird pricing for that. So that'll be cool. And and I think next week we'll have a guest speaker coming on at our masterclass. And so we'll be going through and talking about. I had to look at the events and see what exactly we'll be talking next week. I should have looked at that ahead of time. But yeah, we'll be here next week as always. And I know Faye is going to update what the next event is going to be, who we're going to have on. I should have looked at it. I know we got a couple market updates coming up, as well as a couple specifics on one on the multifamily side, and then looking at a couple different markets. I know Corey Peterson is coming back through as well too, and just sharing with the group. So definitely, as things come up, let us know. Whatever you need questions with, hop on one of the strategy calls with Faye. I'm definitely doing these sessions here to help out where people are and whatever you guys are working on. And we got people doing deals and just kind of sharing the process as they go through as well too. So no, you don't have to go through real estate investing by yourself and trying to figure this stuff out on the fly. So definitely tap in and get whatever resources you need. And anybody got any other questions, anything before we close out?
I think I'm good, John.
I appreciate it, man.
All right. Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Doing the work and make some equity happen.
Definitely.
Already.